Today, I'm going to show you how to draw trees. I'm going to be using my iPad in an app called Procreate, but you could apply these tips and tricks to a regular pencil as well. Now, like anything, one of the best things to start off when you're drawing with something is to look at reference photos. So I've gathered 3 different reference photos that I've taken with my camera to kind of start as a baseline. When drawing trees, we want to think about how trees are shaped and formed. So when you look at this photo, you'll notice that the tree slowly goes up and it gets thinner and thinner and thinner as it grows and becomes bigger. It's at its widest point right here at the bottom, but as it grows, it'll get thinner. Eventually the leaves make it so it's hidden, so we're gonna have that be gone. And then I'm gonna have the branches starting to come out. Again, adding some weight in there. And then eventually you'll start to get into more of those leafy shapes. So thinking lots of little ovals. Some of it into the bigger masses of shape. You can kind of do a basic outline of what that would look like. And then start to add in those shapes. Adding in texture. I can start thinking about shading too, so maybe on the side of the tree there's some shading. And again, leaves are branching out. One of the wonderful things about trees is that there's really no wrong way to do them. And as you look at more trees and as you look at more photos, you'll see that they have odd shapes, they're bent in weird ways, and there's a lot of things that you can do and be creative with. Alright, now that I got my first tree drawn, I'm going to start with the next tree over here. So this tree was one that I love the shape. I like how it has this funny little like arm. And it just is a really good example of trees sometimes make weird shapes. And I wanted to explore that shape with this one. So I'm starting off with that shape because I want to make sure I can get it right. I'm looking back and forth between my photo and my picture to make sure that they match up. Again, I don't have to make it completely 100% match up. I just want to have it be kind of true to that original source material that I took with the photo. That's the goal for this one. For this one, I'm going in with some details for that trunk, and then adding maybe just a little bit of grass coming out. And then for the top of the tree, I'm going to start again with that basic shape. of the tree. So as I am looking at it and drawing that in, I'm going to be just doing that basic shape really lightly. Just so I have have something to go off of. So now I have the basic shape of my tree, so I can start adding in those little details that are in there. So I'm going to start adding those in there. It's that opening in the tree. I love that. That's beautiful. I'm gonna show that in my drawing. It doesn't have to be one solid form like the other tree was. It could have some of those branches poking through too. And again, my goal is not to make it exactly like the picture I took. I just want to use that information to help me make the tree look more realistic and to give me better grounds to work with. When you add shade, it really does make your artwork look a lot more realistic. It's one of the things that can really bring your artwork to life is some good shadows. So you always want to make sure to not forget to add shadows. Adding lots of little like squiggly shapes in lines, lots of lines. All right, so then for our last tree, I wanted to show just how weird trees can be. So look at this tree. It's literally bending over. Like, I'm not even sure if that tree's alive. And then this tree has this really interesting bend in it that goes up. So that's something that I kind of wanted to draw as well. So for this one, I'm going to just kind of draw a little like box. I'm not too picky about making it look neat. This tree is going to have that whoop, little curve. Whoop. Sound effects are optional. Kind of like that. So I'm really comparing where things are. This is a technique that you can draw not when you're just drawing just trees, but anything. It's always good to kind of compare where things are at when you're looking and you have your own photo. Now, when you are taking your own photos, you have that nice benefit of it's your photo. This is something you took. There's not tons of these photos like going around on the internet. Like you literally went out and you took it yourself. So it makes it a little more original. Plus there's something personal about it. Like I went out and I actually saw this tree and I thought it was cool, so I took a photo of it. And there's something special about that. For me, the drama comes all from the texture from this photo of the bark. There's no leaves to worry about. All the leaves had fallen by this point when I took this picture. Still all the shadows are pointing this way, so we know the sun is coming from over here. So again, I want to bring this tree out, so that's why I'm adding these lines to really bring it forward in space, have it come closer to you. And that is just some ways to draw trees.